Right, hi everybody. So as per the company updates and the quarterly sync, I want to make a warm welcome to Andy Barrow, who's now starting in the business as our non-exec strategic advisor. So look, I've been working personally with Andy for 25 years in the tech industry and other organisations, someone that myself and other members of the board know. So I just want to formally introduce him, so welcome Andy.
Thank you, Gareth.
Because do you want to tell a little bit about yourself?
Well,
Andy,
I mean, you and I met each other 25 years ago, the business previous to ANS actually. I think we both probably started our careers together where we were a small sort of technology consulting business that, you know, we both then ended up growing ANS with some wonderful people there, Rob, Scott, other people that are obviously significantly involved with Godel. And then now, you know, 25 years on as sort of good friends, and hopefully I can help and add some value here in the role of strategic non-exec.
Tell us a little bit about your typically approach advising on technical matters.
So I've sort of had the privilege for 20 odd years to be a chief technology officer, which predominantly really has involved two or three areas. It's obviously starting out my career as being an engineer on the tools, cutting my teeth, building technology, traditionally cybersecurity, cloud, you know, infrastructure, you name it. We've done a lot over that time. Certainly you and I have done a lot over that time together. Now in the capacity sort of post my last role really, I spent quite a lot of time in the startup world, in the scale-up world, so businesses anywhere between sort of zero revenue all the way up to 10, 15 million revenue and beyond. You know, advising them on multiple things really: go-to-market, product market fit, starting new areas of technology. Maybe some are stuck in a market that they want to, you know, try and jump to another market, another higher growth market. Some people that are effectively just trying to find another revenue stream. And some people that basically, you know, a lot of organisations that are just looking to start out. There's a lot going on in AI at the minute, and I have the privilege of certainly working in the venture capital community of helping businesses see them start and then see them grow all the way up to some pretty significant revenues. So that's sort of given me a great idea. So my experience over the last 20 years, and then plus the experience of sort of the last 3 or 4 years, has given me a great idea about how you navigate new markets, how you build new products, and how you satisfy customers in 2024.
You've touched on a number of things there that you're fundamentally going to be helping us with at a board level perspective on that go-to-market, new revenue streams, or where we want to get the growth from a consultancy approach, more of an AI technology perspective and a strategy from that perspective. Obviously knowing Godel and what we're about as an organisation, because of past years that we've worked in this capacity before. One, what excites you about the role with Godel? And two, is what do you feel is our biggest strength right now?
Oh, awesome question. So first off, the way I see it is Godel's built a phenomenal brand and was there very early in the software revolution. There was an old quote by somebody called Mark Andreessen, which was "Software is eating the world." I think it was said in 2007. And I think as a business, Godel was there with a really modern method. You were sort of pioneers in the agile space. You built amazing processes about how organizations can build software products that are really disruptive for them and their customers. And that, I think you've sort of developed a baseline for what good looks like. You've got an amazing brand, you've got amazing staff, you've got amazing processes, and some of the organizations that you work with and some of the projects that you do, I think is testament to that. But we're at a really exciting time now in the industry where you've got to really go like, this is sort of coming into that phase 2, which is we've now got a significant amount of data, AI, a lot of market changes, a lot of technology paradigm shifts that are going on, a lot of people looking at what's the relationship with software going to be. We're now seeing like huge new organizations like OpenAI, Anthropic, you know, you name it, all these organizations that are basically shaping potentially what some of the future of software might look like, how consumers and users will interact with software. And effectively that sort of means that we have a really exciting part now, certainly in my career and hopefully for everybody that works at Godel, of what does the next 10, 15, 20 years look like, and how can you use that base of credibility and reputation that you built over the last 20, 25 years, however long, and how can you apply that in what is now probably one of the most exciting times to be a software engineer and to be in the software engineering business. So, you know, it's a real privilege to sort of come and sort of join you on some of that transition and try and add some value and help about how you take, you know, how you maximise the opportunity that's in front of us, because I think this is probably one of the best times, certainly of our career.
Yeah, good. And I think you've mentioned there about some of the biggest and some of the emerging trends that we're seeing in the market. I think one thing that obviously bringing you in as a strategic advisor to the board and to the business is, I think probably some of the people internally will be thinking, how do you stay up to date with the market trends in terms of what's happening? Explain a little bit around that.
There's a couple of areas that can answer that really. When you work in sort of the early ecosystem, certainly in software, AI, blockchain, VR, AR, whatever they may be, I sort of have a good idea in the fact that working in the venture community gives you that. What are people thinking about next, and where are people trying to create value through building exciting companies by solving really difficult problems, and doing that with software, services, you name it, ecosystems, whatever that may be. So I think that sort of experience is a really nice place to start, because I have quite a lot of exposure to that. It's something I'm massively passionate about, something I've always been passionate about, and it's an area that I really, really enjoy working with. Technology is something that I've grown up with, and I think for the last 20 years is something that I'm, I think in a decent position to potentially have an opinion on. Probably not always the right opinion, but we don't know that, right? You've got a crystal ball and can see round corners, but the reality is, I think now trying to make sense of what's in front of us. I think I probably see in my current role doing what I'm doing in the venture community, I probably see 100 businesses a month, all trying to crack a particular problem, all trying to crack AI, all trying to build either next generation services businesses, or next generation product businesses, or next generation data businesses. And I think those insights are probably potentially, hopefully valuable to yourself and the wider board.
You've already added a lot of value in terms of some of the things that we've been doing on the go-to-market. The one slider that we've produced at our sales team and are now working on. We spent a bit of time with Victor and with Jade, obviously in her new role from a consultant perspective. So that's a little bit about work. So outside of work, what do you do to relax and have a bit of fun?
To relax, not that you can with two small kids, can you? But I like to watch a bit of grassroots football at Altrincham, if anybody ever goes down there. So I've been on the United season ticket list for I don't know how long. I have a little boy who's obsessed with football, and I'm not obsessed with football, so I'm just going to have to. So I've had to basically start following the Premier League and start following areas of football, but effectively that's how I typically spend my Saturday with my little boy playing football. My little girl's the same, she's 11 now, so again that's full of all sorts of dance classes, singing classes, you name it. So I think hobbies wise is probably your kids. Personally, love the F1. I'm an F1 kind of fan, always watched F1. What else do I do to relax? Love a social. Who doesn't love a social? Yeah. Love a beer. Love getting involved in the ecosystem around Manchester, the meetups, the tech meetups, the product meetups, you name it. And try and spend as much time with family and friends as I physically can, which I think is what puts a smile on your face ultimately. Right?
Brilliant. And then final question, looking back, what's the most important lesson you've learned?
Wow. I think, God, there's loads, and that's on the spot. So I think success is built on your ability to build relationships with those around you who you work with, and your current friends, family, and your work colleagues. And I think your ability to build those relationships, nurture those relationships, and put a lot of effort and time into them, I think directly correlates to how successful you can be as an individual, and how successful the business that you work for does. And that's probably one area that certainly earlier in my career I probably didn't give enough credence to, but certainly in the last 10 years, making sure that you build and you cultivate amazing relationships with people that you really enjoy spending time with, and I think success comes from that.
Yeah. Brilliant. So, good stuff. Well, excited about the journey ahead.
Well, I look forward to it.
Cheers, Andy.
Thank you, everyone.